Hey, fourth period. It's Mr. Cope again, and I'm not going to be at school again today because my son still isn't over his flu, virus, whatever the heck it is that he's got going on. So I'm going to miss fourth period again today. I'm really sorry about that. I really would rather be teaching. I especially would rather be teaching you because I don't want to miss 2 days in a row, but that's just not the case. I think you guys did some good work while I wasn't there. The sub gave me a great report on Wednesday. I really quickly looked over some of the work that you turned in. It looked like you did a fantastic job with the notes. I think you're on the right track with the notes. Obviously, I'll give you better feedback when I see you next, and I can actually hand some things back to you. But I think you're doing some good work, and I think you want to continue doing that good work. If you've got questions, you want to definitely shoot by in the morning on Monday, or shoot me an email if it's really pressing, and I'll try to get to it sometime today or over the weekend. But like I said, I think all of you are on the right track based on what I was able to see. So let's just take a quick review here of the daily agenda. Up at the top here, we've got the homework that's due next class. At this point, I don't know that the video is really that useful anymore because it seems like everybody's on the right track with the notes, but it's still there just in case. And then here are the links for the readings and the topic pages that you'll need to take your notes on. Here are the links to the readings. Again, it's the same links, and you know that it just takes you to a folder. That's what you had for class today. So that's what I'm expecting you to turn in today. So if you're not done with it, you have class time to work on that, and you can turn that in. As needed. If you have questions, maybe you can use the internet to help you fill in some of the work that you were looking that wasn't clear to you. I've also included for you this video here down at the bottom where it says classwork on the crash course about topic 1.2. It is sort of about 1.2. What I mean by that is it's not going to cover every topic that's in 1.2, and it's going to talk about some topics that aren't in 1.2 but are going to be in some of the later readings that we're going to do. But it will give you a little bit of an idea of the Islamic world during this time period. So it might be worth watching. It's only 10 minutes long, 13 minutes long maybe. So that's a way that you can gain a little bit of knowledge pretty quickly if you've already done the reading that was due today and you just need a little bit more clarification. Again, join Google Classroom if you haven't already joined Google Classroom. That way you can access the readings a little bit more easily. You can download the whole folders to your own drive. These are things that I would encourage you to do because it'll make you accessing the materials a lot easier than just going to the links. So if you can download the folders or the links from Google Classroom, then you'll permanently have them on your drive. Wake County pays for you to have a drive from Google. By signing into your account, you can access your Google Drive if you haven't done that before, or somebody hasn't explained that to you. And I'm not sure that it's unlimited space, but it is more than enough space for you over the next 4 years. When I talk to my seniors, they're not even anywhere near close to filling up their space. Also, remember to join the Whopper Mind Classroom because I will send out links and necessary materials that way. You can't communicate with me that way, but it is a great way for me to send out some materials that you may need. You're not going to take a quiz today. I would like you to be there. I would like to be there when you take a quiz, at least the first quiz. So you will not be taking a quiz on 1.2 today, so you dodged yet another bullet there. I would like you to work on the bell ringer, and if you could put the bell ringer on your note sheet, that would be perfect because you are going to turn in your note sheet at the end of class today, or whenever you're finished with it. And I would like the bell ringer on there as well. And then something that you can work on to really help you understand this material better and to help you practice some skills of analysis would be this analysis practice. You'll see that it is a form or a table that you could print, except we don't have a printer. So what I would ask is that you would draw the table and you would follow the directions and you would try to do your best filling in the chart based on the readings that you're going to do. I think there are 3 primary sources that you're going to read. I would ask that you would try your best, and if you only get through one document, that's fine. If you need to Google what is point of view, what is, and I'm opening up the document right now. Hopefully it'll open up here for us. Doesn't look like that's going to work there. So let's see if I can get it to work this way. If I go in to this document, there are parts that you may need to Google so you can get a better explanation. I give you some directions here, and I think it points you to some information that might be helpful and might help explain it, but it still may not be clear. I think this part will be fine. This is you're just writing an answer about the document. You're taking a quote from the document, and then you're explaining how this quote supports your answer. I think that's pretty straightforward. You do that. That's that ACE technique. You do that all the time. This part here, I think, may be a little bit more of a challenge where you're talking about the author's point of view. You may need to Google what is an author's point of view. This isn't first person, second person, third person like in English. So you may need to figure out what that is in a history class. Author's purpose, like why was this person writing this document or creating this document? Historical context of the document. So that means like what was going on around the creation of this document. Intended audience of the document. Who was the author trying to write this for? You might figure it out based on the document itself, or you may need to do a little bit of research and try to see if you can figure out how the document was influenced. That means what helped shape this? What were the things that were going on either within the author or in the author's life or outside influences that changed how this document was created? And then evaluate the source's credibility or limitations. So how credible is the source? And that doesn't mean it's fake. It is definitely going to be real. It's just, is it a credible source? You want to think about like how biased is it? You see me wearing this Tampa Bay Rays hat. So when we're talking about greatest baseball teams in Major League Baseball, somebody wearing a Tampa Bay Rays hat may downplay how good the New York Yankees are because they're in the same division. And if somebody's doing that, does that mean that the source is a credible source? Well, I'm probably relying on facts because I'm probably going to point out like the bad things that are going on with the New York Yankees, but not highlighting the good things. So does that mean that I would be a credible source? Probably not, but I'm not saying anything that's not factual. I'm just not giving all of the facts, and that's where that or the limitations part comes in here. The limitations of me talking about how bad the New York Yankees are would be that I'm not relying on any of the good qualities that the New York Yankees have. So, if you need to go back and you need to do some research about like what are these things before you start writing them down based on the documents that you're going to read. And you notice you're going to read document 2, 5, and 7. And, you're going to fill that chart in. That would be something that I think would give you a head start, especially over the other 2 classes, because I don't think that they're going to get to those things. And it'll allow us to have some really good conversations when I get back in the class next week about analysis. And that's a skill that you're going to need to do during the course of this year. So again, I'm really sorry that I'm not there today. Please make sure you're on your best behavior for the sub. Please work independently. Please try not to be loud and disruptive to you or to your neighbors. And make sure you get some really good quality work in so that when I do get back, we're going to have a lot that we're going to have to go over, and it's a lot easier to go over a lot of material if the notes that you turn in today are high quality and that you put in time and effort on. I mean, if you go in and you just do it part way, then we're not going to have a good conversation, and you're not going to do well on the unit test, and you're not going to do well on the final exam, and so on and so forth. So just make sure you do a good job today. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you guys next week.